Got a question on TikTok asking if a landlord could require a tenant to pay 3 months worth of rent in order to break a lease. Um, Seems illegal. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Warrior on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, it all really depends upon what's going on. Okay. Generally speaking, if you sign a lease agreement with a landlord, you generally have to, abide by that lease agreement, including the terms. So if you signed up for a year lease, it's expected that you reside in the property, or at least continue paying the lease through the end of the lease term. Okay. There are some minor exceptions. For example, if there's domestic violence involved, and under certain limited circumstances under the Civil Code, you may be able to terminate a tenancy for on 14 days notice. Okay, there's a lot of conditions on that. That's a topic for a different video. There might be some other circumstances too, like the premises are destroyed, basically. Like, let's say there's a fire and it burned the whole thing down. So that under the Civil Code and under some terms of lease, that might terminate a lease. And generally speaking, if it's a tenant, you're like, hey, I need to get out of my lease. I got another job or something happened, that type of deal. That's usually, generally speaking, your mileage may vary depending on where you're at, your lease terms. That's subject to negotiation. The landlord doesn't necessarily have to let you out of the lease, basically. If you do move out, basically, and so forth, and you breach the lease by moving out early, stop paying the landlord rent, your landlord has a general duty under the law to mitigate their damages, basically, to try to relet the property and so forth like that. But the lease is a legal contract, so you're going to have to honor it, basically. And sometimes, we do encounter landlords and tenants, hey, they want to negotiate that, and, that's subject to negotiation. So 3 months, is it excessive? I don't know. If like the rent was like $1,000 a month, type deal, and it's going to be hard to relet, that may be reasonable. But in other cases too, if a landlord re-rents the property, it might probably get a higher rent and a better qualified person to actually rent it. So it's really going to be a case by case situation. So that's all I can say on that. Landlords, if you're facing this type of situation, and you're in the Northern California area, feel free to reach out. We might be able to help out. Put your comments, questions down below. Until next time, folks, we'll talk to you then. Thanks.